Have you ever cared for everyone, but forgot to care for yourself? Have you ever helped the whole world, but when you needed help, no one came? This is the story of a gentle man who gave love to everyone but forgot to give love to his own heart. And when life finally broke him, he learned the most powerful lesson of all. Once upon a time, in a quiet village wrapped in green fields and tall, whispering trees, there lived a man named Elias. Elias was not rich. He was not famous, but he had the kindest heart in the entire village. If someone's cow went missing, Elias searched the whole night. If a roof leaked during the rain, Elias fixed it. If someone was hungry, he shared his last piece of bread. The villagers always said, "Elias is the soul of this village." But no one knew that behind Elias's warm smile was a man who felt tired, lonely, and invisible. Every morning, before he even ate, Elias carried water to the old widow, Sister Medium. Then he helped his neighbors mend their fences. After that, he went to work in the fields until the sun disappeared. And when he finally returned home, his little house stood silent and broken. The roof sagged. The walls were cracked. Dust covered the floor like an old memory. Elias whispered to himself, "I'll fix it tomorrow." But tomorrow never came. One evening, a young boy came running. "Uncle Elias, my father's ox has fallen into a pit. Please, come." Without a second thought, Elias rushed there. He pushed, pulled, and fought with all his strength until the ox was free. Everyone cheered for him, but as he walked back home under the dim moonlight, his legs trembled. His chest felt heavy. The world spun around him. He reached his door and collapsed. For 2 whole days, Elias lay alone, weak and burning with fever. He waited and waited. Maybe Sister Miriam would check on him. Maybe his neighbors would notice he wasn't outside helping today. But no one came. Everyone assumed Elias must be busy helping someone else. No one knew that this time, Elias was the one who needed help. Tears filled his eyes as he looked at his broken roof above him. He whispered, "I gave my heart to everyone. But when I needed love, no one came." On the 3rd day, a traveling monk entered the village. He saw Elias lying near his doorway, weak, alone. The monk gave him water and held his hand gently. "My son," he asked softly, "why are you here all alone?" Elias smiled sadly. "Because I spent my whole life caring for others and forgot to care for myself." The monk nodded with deep understanding. Then he said the words that changed Elias's life forever. "You cannot light another person's lamp if your own flame is burned out. And then, you cannot pour water for others if your own cup is empty." Those words hit Elias like a truth he had been waiting to hear all his life. The next morning, Elias stood up slowly. His body was weak, but his heart felt new. For the first time in years, he chose to take care of his own life. He cleaned his house. He repaired his roof. He patched his walls. He planted bright flowers outside his door. Every evening, he sat by the quiet river, watching the golden sunsets, something he had never allowed himself to enjoy before. The villagers whispered, "Elias has changed. He doesn't help like before." But Elias simply smiled and said, "I am still helping. I'm just starting with myself." Days passed. Elias grew healthier. He laughed more. His steps became lighter, and when someone asked for help, he didn't always say yes immediately. Sometimes he said, "Let me finish my own work first, then I will come." At first, people did not understand, but soon they saw the truth. Elias was kinder, calmer, and more peaceful, not because he gave more, but because he gave without losing himself. One evening, Sister Miriam visited him. "You've taught us something precious, Elias," she said. "We thought love meant giving everything away, but now we know love begins with ourselves." Elias smiled warmly. When you love yourself, your love for others becomes pure and full. And slowly, the whole village changed. People helped each other, but also cared for their own homes, their own hearts, their own families. The village became more peaceful than ever before. One soft evening, Elias sat by the quiet river as the sun painted the water orange. He closed his eyes and whispered, Loving yourself isn't selfish. It's the beginning of real love. The moral of the story is this: you cannot heal others if you are wounded. You cannot love deeply if you don't love yourself first. Rest, heal, care for your soul. Because the world needs your light, not your exhaustion, not your pain. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that heal the soul.